they're to progress into the latter stages of the Amlin Challenge competition. Here then, the Castres team, with one eye on next week's big domestic game at home to Biarritz, field a strong side with All Black prop Simone Taumea-Pau now back in action after a back operation. Scott Murray, in his 13th European season, still a mainstay in the second row. Skipper Chris Massoe turned down a move to Glasgow last week, insisting he's decided he wants to stay in France, though maybe not in Castres, as he's been involved in talks, as has everybody it seems, with Toulon over the last few days. Fijian Saramaya Mbai, a young player with Cross Keys in Wales a decade ago, starts at fly half. Roman Toulet, a 5'4" fullback, but a giant in the point-scoring stakes, returns at fullback. The Scarlets with one late change, Richie Pugh at 7, in for John Edwards. They have 20 players out of action because of injury, among them prop Rhys Thomas, so Peter Edwards from Welsh Premiership club Llandyfri makes his Heineken debut. Matt Gilbert, who's been making great progress in the game despite severe deafness, comes in at number 8 for New England man Ben Morgan. Stephen Jones skippers the side. From fly half, Rhys Priestland is at fullback, with Rodri Williams making his first Heineken start at scrum half. The three-quarter line travel en bloc to Poland tomorrow for Wales's pre-Six Nations training camp. Lock Lou Reed, another of the 9 Scarlets on board. On the bench, Castres welcome back 2 more long-term casualties, hooker Mack and prop Forestier, and Kirby Mile wears number 20, and another hooker who comes onto the bench then in place of Pugh for the Scarlets. Waiting then for the two teams to come out onto the field. It'll be the Scarlets first of all. And Matt, it's going to be quite a game for Stephen Jones and his boys here tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Bob, and welcome all at home. The Scarlets, good to see a complete Welsh national backline with Jonathan Davies, Scott Williams and George North, the incumbent Welsh players. Watch out for North, he's so effective at coming off 9 and 10. The way he runs from deep, changing his angle very late, makes him a world-class pair, and he's only 19. Castres, on the other hand, they've got a big pack. Front row, Taumea-Pau, Bonello, Wihongi, you know, the Winston Ball. And with Scott Murray in the line-out, they'll certainly be looking to be effective in the forwards tonight.
We see Stephen Jones there. Speculation this week has been linking him possibly with a move to Gloucester next season. There's so many changes in the offing now in the coming up in the next few months.
Yeah, I think so. It's the nature of the market, isn't it now, Bob? Players seem to be moving, looking at their preparations and planning for next season. Teams, individuals are kind of moving around, and be an interesting move for Jones if he does. He can help Freddie Burns and coach him towards the end of his career, and obviously the start of Freddie's.
So Chris Massoe leading out the home team Castres, the giant of a man, All Black international. As I say, had been lined up for a move to Glasgow, decided against it, and Toulon seem to be in the market for all players these days, don't they?
Yeah, that's one team that certainly is out there looking to recruit. Many sides these days almost have 2 squads, you know, one for the European Cup, one for domestic as well. So it's an interesting time of year, but an exciting game here, Heineken Cup.
Referee J.P. Doyle, an Irishman, Irish-born, as his name suggests, now refereeing out of England, and alongside him, Luke Pearce, without the C, I think, and Paul Dix on the line with Jeff Warren, a very experienced man, the TMO. J.P. Doyle just waiting then, checking everybody's happy for the game to get underway. And it'll be the Scarlets through Rhys Priestland at fullback tonight, who will get this game underway. They have to have a victory to have any hope of making it through to the latter stages after a disappointing end to the campaign in Europe. Started so well with victory over Castres at home in Parc Scarlets, and they're the first to get hands on ball, and knocked on there by Rodri Williams. For those of you who know Swansea rugby over the years, his dad Alan was a great stalwart at scrum half for Swansea. This is a bright start though by the Scarlets.
Yeah, you'd expect the game to really open up this evening. In many ways, nothing to lose for both sides. Obviously, Scarlets have to win as we see Rodri Williams there. Exciting young talent.
So many in the number 9 jersey for the Scarlets at the moment, building up a good base of good young players, as they have to, such as the economy all over the world these days, and particularly in West Wales, it has to be said.
Scarlets won.
But there's a penalty, or a free kick goes against Phil John, who's in tonight on the loose head side for the Scarlets, with Iestyn Thomas this time on the bench. Great stalwart Phil John has been over the years for the Scarlets. Real local boy. As it's Rory Cockett, the South African, with the clearance kick, the scrum half. Actually joined the club earlier this season
It's
as
okay.
what they call a medical joker in France to cover for injuries at scrum half, but he'd done so well he's actually stayed on.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll be too happy about the term medical joker being over his head, but...
Schindler moving up the number 6 to take that ball then in the line-out, as is the Scarlets. Again, who had the first opportunity here. There's Richie Pugh with the blonde hair in at open side flanker. A real old-fashioned flanker. Aaron Schindler, who came to Wales first of all as an England under-19 cricketer. Didn't make his way in cricket with Glamorgan, but refound his appetite for rugby. Stephen Jones, lovely angle. Davis, Williams, this is a lovely move. Now it's Scott Williams. This is a great attack, and this is exactly what the Scarlets need to do in this game, is immediately set their stamp on it, because they must get a win tonight, and if they get tries as well, a bonus point, well, that'll improve their chances no end. 13, Paul Bonnefont for the home team. Started as a winger, moved to the centre in recent years, and it's all Scarlets at the moment. Jones orchestrating things. Now here's Lou Reed, a new man in the Welsh camp, off to Poland this week, and with a chance of making the Welsh side. At hooker, Ken Owens fighting his way back into contention in Wales. He was one of the bright young things of Welsh rugby just a few years ago. Phil Davis down at Llanelli spoke very highly of him. Reed again with Schindler and also Pugh in there. Just 5'11", but what a good ball winner. Taking the ball like a good old-fashioned number 7 does. Williams then sniping. Had the chance to actually settle things for the Scarlets against Northampton last week, and then showed his inexperience maybe, gave the pass that allowed Ben Foden through. Now here's Jones slipping through some tackles. This is a great start then by the Scarlets, but in at the side that time.
Nothing wrong
They needed to get something from that though, Matt, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Great continuity play there from the Scarlets, really keeping the ball. Good lines of running straight from the off by Jonathan Davies, coming down the left flank, just hitting back at the ball. It just shows the game now. You can build up, get to kind of 10, 11 phases, but you've got to be so good on the floor, be technically excellent. And we see Castres there just going over the top, and wasn't resolved well enough by the Scarlets.
Here's Cockett again then, former ex-Natal and Sharks and Golden Lions and Lions in his native South Africa. Played 40 times in Super Rugby. And here, Stephen Jones getting away well, didn't he, from the tackles there?
Well, he certainly hasn't lost his strength, has he? I mean, as combative as ever.
Give yourself a mark.
Breaking tackles, and you can see that front row is going to be a real key battle tonight. So much these days, the front 5 have to get the ascendancy to allow the back row to really dominate the gain line. As we see here, Jonathan Davies just offloading it. And again, good continuity. Momentum is what the Scarlets need this evening.
First chance into the line-out, and it's the Uruguayan rather, Capa Ortega, wearing 5, who takes the ball. This time, the penalty goes to the Scarlets.
6, side clear.
Yanni Boneman, the South African, wearing 6 for Castres, is the man singled out by the referee. Now, this is a very long way out, so what's the decision going to be? The skipper himself for the night, Stephen Jones, is going to call up Rhys Priestland.
You still won't go? Okay.
And he's going for the posts. This is a big shot, but they need some points to capitalise on this great start, don't they?
Yeah, they do. 5 minutes in, you know, they've really dominated this first period, and Rhys Priestland can certainly knock this over from here. He's got a fantastic strike, the way he gets through the ball, and wouldn't be surprised if he knocks this one over.
Just inside the Castres half, all you have to say is that, of course, it is straight. So it's a question, does he have the confidence in his own ability to use his technique and not to try and strike this ball too hard, just to let the flow of the leg take it over. Still night, so good conditions for kicking. Here goes Priestland. Didn't really have a great deal of conviction, did he?
Yeah, we said he was a great striker of the ball, and he slightly got underneath that one there, Bob.
First glimpse also of young Toulé, Romain Toulé, the most prolific point scorer in the history of top 14 rugby in France. As I say, only 5'4" of him. Fantastic player.
Yeah, I think he's dubbed the pocket rocket. I mean,
Stay in the line
he's a
until it's over,
machine at
okay?
fullback. They use him a lot, not only for point scoring, but he's very, very solid at the back.
For the first time then, here comes Bonello for
Nice.
Castres. The first time really they've had an opportunity to build up an attack, but the ball's been nudged forward. So things are certainly going the Scarlets' way in the opening minutes.
We see here, could be one area this evening where the Scarlets struggle. Castres line out certainly very effective. You have Scott Murray in there with all his experience. He'll certainly be getting up, towering above, trying to dominate that area.
Crouch.
Ian Locks for the Scarlets,
Touch.
Lou Reed and Dom Day,
Pause.
who've been battling
Engage.
for places in Welsh squads over the years. It's Reed now for the moment,
3-1 fails to
who
bind.
has the upper hand.
3-1 both fails to bind. No. But remember we said before. Show me it. No, close is okay. Fine. Work to recover, please.
So the scrum will go down again in a fairly central position. Taumeo Pau
Crouch.
on the loose head side, New Zealander. His brother Tavita plays for Worcester.
Touch.
Talking of which, there more
Pause.
gossip as well. Rhys Thomas, the tight end prop for the
Moving,
Scarlets,
Hooker.
missing tonight because of injury, also being linked with the move into the English Premiership next season. And Marcel Garvey of Worcester is being tipped very strongly in France to move down here to join Castres. He's free at the end of the season, but for the moment, Priestland comes in, Davis and Williams doing well. Not very good passes, but doing extremely well there, the young backs for the Scarlets. Williams then.
Offsides.
Referee playing an advantage. As it goes, Ken Owens, good straightening up in that run there by the hooker. Phil Johnsill also. Williams arrives, then switches it the other way. Scott Williams takes the ball on. Good strength. They need to maintain the possession in that area. Shingler battling away well, number 6, and gets up and picks up and gets the drive forward again. That's good play by the flanker.
Blacker Lachey.
Peter Edwards wearing 3 for the Scarlets, as I say, on the tight head side, will go down in this scrum. Plays his rugby for Llandudno in the Welsh Premiership, but also appeared for the Northern Hemisphere in the Heroes International, Southern Hemisphere against the Northern Hemisphere against the Southern Hemisphere in Twickenham a few weeks ago. Another opportunity towards the post then for Rhys Priestland. Nigel Davis will be pretty pleased with the way that his side have started, but also
In the line out.
he will know that they need to get points on the board. Good work by Shingler here, wasn't it?
Yeah, excellent work. In many ways, you can see the Scarlets really early in this game are trying to get outside Castres. They're playing in the 13 channel. Some great offloads here. As we see Williams, good strength for the winger, staying infield, making sure he didn't use the touchline. Really important to stay infield to allow your support to get there. But they're just trying to get on the outside of Castres at the moment and doing it to effect.
Laurent Travers and Laurent Labitte, the 2 coaches for Castres. Priestland drills the ball across the posts, and this time he is successful. 3 points for the Scarlets after the early pressure. That's what they needed, an early
I know,
lead.
tackle's been made and we've got to go. All right.
Yeah, in many ways, Priestland, what a great kick. He almost kicks a rugby ball like Lee Westwood hits a golf ball, you know, really gets through it, keeps his head down, and a great example there. Straight through the ball. Good stuff.
3-0 to the Scarlets. Castres have hardly been in Scarlet territory at all so far in this game. Getting there now, thanks to the restart, but the possession is again with the Scarlets. And it's Pugh with the continuity there to John Davis. Priestland up from fullback. Lovely angle of running there, this time by Scott Williams. Showing good adventure, good continuity as well, thanks to Pugh. Williams, not a good pass, but finds his man in midfield. Phil John setting it up. Williams decides to go left. Priestland this time has his kick charged down, but it breaks for John Davis. Lovely pass inside. Now then, on the charging run goes Matt Gilbert in towards the corner. What a start!
Jeff, JP.
Referee goes upstairs. Now, we mentioned Matt Gilbert before the start of this game. What a start by the number 8, the product of Hartpury College.
That was excellent, Bob. Excellent pace on the outside
yes
there.
You can hear me.
I mean, you can see his legs slightly starting to fail at the end, but brilliant
Jeff, can you come in, though? I can't hear you
by the
here.
Scarlets. Again, they're just trying to get outside Castres and then use their offloading game in that 5-metre channel. But we'll have a look here.
Get him. Get him.
Referee Doyle just dealing with an issue here. He has asked Jeff Warren already for a decision. I think the problem is he can't hear Jeff Warren. That looks good, doesn't it?
I've lost the 4th official. The TMO.
What a fantastic start to his Heineken career.
I can hear everybody
proper
else.
For Matt Gilbert.
Nothing from the TMO.
The problem is that JP Doyle cannot hear Jeff Warren. So that shows us on his first Heineken start that he has a second Heineken try of the season. Matt Gilbert scored a try on his debut as a replacement in the win at Northampton. He doesn't score bad tries, does he?
No.
And the way he hit that angle.
TMO.
It's fantastic. And to finish this try under a lot of pressure here. Yeah, brilliant stuff.
I can't hear him.
So we're just waiting now for the communications to work, because at the moment JP Doyle cannot be told by Jeff Warren, his TMO, that this try is okay.
Jeff, it's JP.
JP
Jeff?
is trying again.
Jeff, have you got me?
Still can't hear from Jeff Warren.
Jeff Warren.
Allô, il est au RTS là.
Jeff. Jeff Warren.
So the technicians on the field
I can hear you now, Jeff.
from
Yeah, I got you.
television, and now, yes,
Thank
JP
you.
Doyle can hear Jeff Warren. So then, here it comes, the decision.
The good thing, it will keep JP Doyle fit, won't it? If he has to. I thought he was going to run out of the stadium, back to the van and have a one-to-one with Jeff.
Yep.
Well, we have the evidence to show that it was a try, and that is confirmed by JP Doyle. Great try, Matt Gilbert, who's played for the England deaf rugby side, played for Alghero in Italy, born in Sidcup, brought up in Dover and elsewhere with his dad in the army. But the play of John Davis was superb there in setting it up for him.
Yeah, it was. Really took it forward. A bit opportunistic with Priestley's kick. But again, Davis created it. And the angle of run from Gilbert just came back at the ball and used his pace to go through. As we see here, great strength, spot the gap, and was always looking for the offload. And I think the angle that he came was actually tracking. He was tracking Davis from behind and then changed his angle late. And that just completely took the Castres defence by surprise, and then lovely in and out, just a little handoff and a great finish.
I think the director might have heard you, because we saw the shot there immediately from behind him, tracking John Davis's run, and in support there, brilliantly done. Priestland from wide out with the opportunity to extend the Scarlets' lead. That's driven well too, but not quite making it there, but still 8 points to 0 to the Scarlets. That's as much as Nigel Davis and Garen Evans could have hoped for.
No, I'm only getting a bit of static coming
As
through
you see
there,
again the difference of a player in the centre. Someone like Davis and Williams' quality, they're always looking for the offload. And when you have a player like Gilbert coming from that sort of angle, very hard to stop.
I tell you what, Ben Morgan would have been pretty pleased with that one, wouldn't he? As he looks forward to his England debut.
Stay up, Scarlets, on your feet.
And another man with Gloucester connections, funnily enough, Hartpury College, as I say.
Wait, guys.
Stephen
There you
Jones
are. Just hold it a
with the
little
kick downfield. Too gets a favourable bounce, puts the little kick ahead, but it's too long. And
No
the
ruck, no
strength
offsides.
of these young players, absolutely terrific, the way they've been prepared for this game, as they have all season by the staff down at Parc Scarlets. And already 8 points down. Castres must try and fight their way back into this game. And the difficulty is really that as far as this campaign is concerned, there's nothing in it for them. They obviously want to try and get their places for the Biarritz game next week.
You can hear them.
That's going to be in their minds. They've got to battle their way back into it, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. I mean, since October, they've had only 2 wins in Europe in the top 14. You know, a great start to the season. They've been quite formidable at home. But I think, like a typical French side, you know, they beat Saints 40-22 down here, but then went to Saints and lost 45-0. So they're, you know, they're quite an inconsistent team. And in the shadow of Toulouse, which is not far away, you know, they do punch above their weight though. 4th in the top 14, but you know, they want to get some good plays together. But they haven't had the ball so far, Bob, to be fair.
That's true. That's true. There'll be variation about the line out there by the Scarlets as well, using the shorter man, Pew there. As I say, 5'11", that's all he is, but using an easy man to lift.
Yeah, I think they'll have to do that, especially in the line out. They'll have to look to mix it up, because if they go into the middle, Scott Murray and Capi Ortego, you know, they'll look to clean up.
So for the first time, Castres have an opportunity after almost 15 minutes of rugby. They find themselves with a position inside the Scarlets 22. Scarlets 1 try to the good already. And waiting to put into the line out is Matteo Bonello.
Good formation.
Now then, look for the good body positions here. Bonello joins in as well. Almost an ever-present in the side in top 14 over the last 3 seasons. Orchestrating things. Scott Murray joins in as well. Massoe at number 8. This is the first real test then for the Scarlets. Schingler looking to work hard.
2 is legal.
Referee says they're okay to continue. It was Bonello. This is the test then of the Scarlets' defence. Switch ball, great running by Andre. The French international winger,
yes or no, please,
making his comeback after injury tonight. And for the second time in this game, Jeff Warren is called in to adjudicate.
Yeah, good play. Excellent play by Castres again. Just coming down the short side. And let's just have a look here to see whether Andrea gets in.
No, 2 came through the middle. No problem. Can you hear him?
That is tight.
Can you hear the TMO? Yeah. Okay, come here with me, please.
He's been out since November after the game against Munster.
No, I've asked.
Scored a try.
Can you hear him?
At Parc Scarlets in the first game between these 2 teams in this competition, which they lost to the Scarlets 31-23. Now then, here comes Jeff Warren's decision here.
You listen me?
Okay, we'll go up to the headphones.
Well, again, we're having communication problems between the van where Jeff Warren, the TMO, is housed. Now he's looking to his heart's content at the replays of this try.
Okay.
But he needs them this time. There wasn't much doubt about the try by Gilbert.
Yeah, I got you.
So again, JP Doyle has had to come over here to talk to Jeff Warren on the headphones, and then runs all the way back to his spot. Now then, what's the decision going to be this time?
No try.
No try.
Touch.
In touch. Things are certainly going the Scarlets' way.
Touch and go, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Touch and go there. They might have to drive the van into the ground to save JP Doyle. But again, it was a good angle of run. So much these days, you don't always see the blind side used to good effect. But it was good play there from Cocotte and Andre. Unlucky.
Ken into the line-out then, again towards Schingler at the front for safety. Williams in trouble to begin with, then gets out of trouble nicely as the Scarlets move upfield. Cocotte 9, the scrum half. The South African for Castres looking to put pressure.
Stand 1.
But the chance is there for the Scarlets to clear the ball away, which they've done successfully.
Yeah, certainly an area this evening where the Scarlets will
Il était touché.
be really under pressure. We talked about the line-out, but it was really good unit play from Castres on that piece of play. Won the line-out, brought it down, then moved 15 metres as a full pack, which allowed then the scrum half and the winger to really use that blind side. So the Scarlets will look to tighten that area.
Brunel, that one not straight this time. Straightforward take for Steve Malonga. That will not be allowed by the referee. Might remember, played rugby as well in the Heineken Cup, Steve Malonga, with Biarritz. Very athletic man at the back of the line, at 6'4" of him. Useful extra leaper for any side.
Coach!
So here's Pete Edwards on the tight head side, has made quite an impression for his scrummaging abilities, and quite a test for him tonight against Taumea Pau. But he's done pretty well, and getting congratulations from Shingler there.
On the arm, feet were back as well. Yep.
So, as I say, Peter Edwards,
On the 15.
product of Newtown Rugby Club in mid-Wales, and called up into the limelight in that Northern Hemisphere team in the Help for Heroes game at Twickenham.
What a fantastic kick from Priestland. Absolutely nailed it.
C'est pas bon.
You see Toulé here,
Le ballon.
just trying to keep it in.
So we see again the penalty infringement. It is given in the end against Karina Wehongi, the former sailman, as we look once more at that beautifully hanging kick by Priestland.
Good formation, one man.
I'd probably say that Toulé did well there.
2 ahead, broke off.
Strangely enough,
8 and 6 broke
the
off.
decision that comes is a penalty against the Scarlets, given a chance to Castres to clear their lines. Shingler and Gilbert, the 2
8
men
and 6
penalised.
broke off and blocked. They weren't attached. Yeah, they weren't attached. Okay, timeout, timeout, timeout.
Referee decides in the end for a timeout for treatment then to Malonga. But he quickly recovers. Well, it was important for the Scarlets to get a foothold in this game, and that's what they've had. Castres hardly had a foothold, have they yet?
No, possession is so important these days. If you keep the ball, you have the ball. You get up to a certain amount of phases, you get penalties, you build scores. Scarlets have really put this first 20 minutes, put a real dominant kind of stamp on this first 20 minutes, although Castres have been good with that one piece of play they had.
Errors that time, though, knocking the ball on. Bonello looking to rejoin the line and keep the momentum going after the original error.
Okay, you keep chasing.
But it's resulted in a scrum again to the Scarlets. So again, important for Peter Edwards on this side to do his job and keep the scrum solid for the Scarlets.
Pause! Engage! The ball never went in. The ball never
Didn't
went
go in. Referee Doyle explains when Castres was celebrating getting a hook against the head.
Okay, we come 1 yard. 1 yard, it's a bit sandy.
Number 3, not touch.
Okay.
Second.
So they go down for the second time.
Touch! Pause! Engage!
Gilbert controlling the ball at number 8 for Williams. Not the best of passes. So Stephen Jones just has to take it again, but good support. George North for the first time in the game. Playing just his 18th competitive start tonight, and he's played 16 internationals. It's quite incredible, really, the way the game is going. Williams gets it away again to Priestland. Need to straighten it, that's what they've done through Dom Day. Ken Owens up to look and protect the ball. For scrum half Williams, has a little look left. That's the way it's going. Jones again. Good hands once more. Excellent play again. It's tight for space out there, so they'll have to bring it this way. Edwards in the loose play this time, and good quick possession as well. Stephen Jones, long floated ball again to John Davis. Scott Williams, George North with the change of angle. Good support play, it's Pugh. What a great tackle. Andrea with a try-saving tackle, because that was a superb move.
Excellent move, Bob. Fantastic movement. Just angles are running. Again, the offload, so important. And I think if there was just one more player supporting on the outside of Pugh there, that would have been, you know, one of the tries of this Heineken Cup so far. Really well-crafted piece of play there from the Scarlets.
So even though at the end of the day the Scarlets were penalised, but still, that was terrific action. And the part played by Richie Pugh, a replacement in this game, quite key. George North as well. And look at Pugh here, popping up all over the place in support. But then a little bit isolated, the support just not there. You're not surprised, mind.
No, it was good play by Andre there, just to be strong on his feet over the ball, but it needed one more Scarlets players coming from out to in just to finish that off.
Back!
Scarlets stealing the ball against the throw-in. Williams knocking it on, but play allowed to continue. North then to Owens. Jones out to John Davis again. Such a strong man, John Davis. Hoping, he says, to tie up another deal with his native Scarlets before long, when he's the sort of man that the Scarlets and Wales would hope to keep playing at home. Stephen Jones then changing it, getting the kick down.
Play!
Too late. Takes it quickly. Davis in with a tackle very quickly then on Marshall, who's a natural winger but has been playing full-back and running into problems. But Castres look as if they've protected the ball. And the chance to build up a couple of phases then to get them out of trouble. We've already played almost 24 minutes of rugby in this game and sped by. It's such a good contest and such a good display by the Scarlets. Kokot at scrum half, the South African, now looking to calm things down for his team. Whereas the Scarlets will want to keep up the momentum. Yanni Borman, the South African flanker, takes it forward for Castres. Kokot then with the clearance kick, but that's alive, that's a poor kick. Chance for the Scarlets to run it back again. Priestland to Williams. Nice angles of running by Scott Williams. Really made his way in the Welsh setup during the World Cup. And then Castres in illegally at the breakdown. So here's another chance then for the Scarlets to extend their lead.
Loads time to move.
Yeah, the penalty there given for not rolling away. Once you make the tackle, you have to make an effort instantly to get away from the ball. You can't just lie there.
What's your call?
I think it was Kokot who was just lying on the floor. And the ref had no choice.
Such a mature display already by John Davis. Setting up the try in the first place. Good angles of running then. He's one of the two elder statesmen now in this team. Young player that he is.
Well, he's so strong going forward. He really takes the ball up, as we see, but he holds the ball in two hands, and he's always looking for the offload. There's been a couple of instances where he's fixed a man for 5 meters as well. You don't have to take the ball all the way up to the defender. If you're on a good running line, fix and give.
Priestland, opportunity for a second penalty goal. Close, but not close enough. Just the one success so far for Rhys Priestland. And the Scarlets must hope that this doesn't come back to bite them later on in this game, because you can be sure that at some stage Castres will come back into it.
Yeah, you'd expect them to. If they get some possession, whether it's from set piece or in phase play, they'll try and put their game together.
At the moment, the news from Northampton is not good for the Scarlets. Northampton leading Munster at the moment. Scarlets need Munster to win that one if they're to have hopes of continuing in Europe this season. Scarlets will finish up third in the pool if that is to happen.
Don't walk in, leave him alone, leave him alone.
Some things warming up a little. Capo Ortega. He should know better. An experienced international, an experienced international captain for Uruguay.
You okay, Dixie? Scrum.
Referee Doyle just checking with Paul Dix, his assistant on this side of the field, that whether he needs to take any further action.
Let's go. No. Why are you here? Do your job. Do your job. Come on, do your job.
Well, you could say 6 of one, half a dozen of the other there, couldn't you?
A bit of shoe pie from Shingler there, but when you see Capo Ortega come towards, he's not a man you want to mess with.
Certainly not. No.
Touch!
Scrum to the Scarlets, just outside the 22. Good scrummaging emanating again from Peter Edwards on the tight head side here. And just moving the scrum around a little, then bringing in Scott Williams. That's good defensive play on this time, though. And the ball knocked forward by the Scarlets.
Scarlets, knock on.
Knock on by Matt Gilbert, looking to keep the continuity of it.
So we see Jones here, just takes it up. Back to Scott Williams. That's a very good hit there from Bournemouth.
Let's go.
It's amazing how the defensive game, and if you make that big hit and then you really rush the breakdown,
Well, let's see
you
when
can
you
get you know, you can get some real good possession from it. And I think that's what Castres need. They need to get some ball.
Pause.
They have the put in at the scrum this time through Rory Cockett, the scrum half. Pick up at number 8 by Masoe. Not a good pass though. Puts his scrum half in trouble.
Luke, I've lost comms.
Once again, a problem for JP Doyle that he's lost communication with his team of officials. But he's close enough there to make...
I know, I've lost you now. Go back to hand signals, I lose it like that. Can you hear me?
So we see Masoe there, just taking the ball up.
Back and across.
Not very good execution. Castres, if they get the ball, they're going to have to execute spot on if they want to be in this game or ultimately stay in this game.
Touch! Pause! Engage!
Rodri Williams into the scrum. Scarlets solid base once again. Williams over from the left wing. Priestland looking to clear out some men. Pugh trying to get the continuity going. This time, though, it's a turnover ball. Penalty award.
10 metres, 10.
This one goes Castres' way. So a chance then for Cockett. Then to Andrea. Kick and chase downfield. Home supporters claiming he was obstructed as well. Priestland sends it again downfield. Still the protests from the home crowd. So here's the opportunity once more then. Marshall, the big tall right winger. On to Tomeo Pau, the loose head prop. For the first time, Castres have the opportunity to build up a few phases. And a real big test as Capo Ortega takes it on. The second row. Scarlets not overcommitting men at the breakdown. Pugh with the tackle. Big battle on the ground for the ball, and it's George North, I think, who's won it. It did in the first instance. It's back again, though. Now it's Mbai. Linking with Malonga. For the first time, Castres really are looking dangerous, but then Bonello gives the ball away to John Davis. Now then, patience. That's what the Scarlets need here. Priestland to the left wing to Williams. Ball's gone forward. But they're working hard in this game, the Scarlets.
Yeah, they are. First bit of ball we see Castres have there. Put a bit of play together, moving themselves upfield. But again, an error. So we see Cogat here, just offloading, and then John Davis came through beautifully, got in between the defenders, and then took his team forward. He seems to pop up everywhere, doesn't he, John Davis? But it's a measure of being in the right place at the right time. In many ways, that's a skill in itself, and he certainly showed that there, as we see Andrea just chipping ahead. Reece Priestland's at the back here.
The allegation would be from the crowd was that George North blocked the man there, and the referee getting in the way as well. So Castres will think that the whole world is against them.
And JP Doyle as well.
Yes, the whole world and the referee.
Comms as well as, you know,
yes.
handoffs.
You didn't play the ball, then the ruck formed. Happy enough?
You'd see an extra bead on JP Doyle's forehead, I think, in this game.
Yep, he's having to earn his corn, certainly in this game.
Over here, Luke. Can you hear me okay?
It's back to 16-all at Milton Keynes between the Saints and Munster. That's better as far as the Scarlets are concerned.
1 minute. 10 seconds.
Time on, please. Crouch!
Another set scrum, another opportunity then for Peter Edwards on the tight head side here
Engage!
to show his worth. Castres this time with the ball, looking to bring Marshall, the big right winger, as a ball carrier into play. Good smuggling then. Man was not held. So Cockett can get it away to Mbai. John Davis this time has to make the tackle, but again, the Scarlets were not overcommitting numbers, but they were guilty, says the referee, who was playing an advantage to Castres.
Knocked on their hands, Rook, 8.
And again, it was Matt Gilbert, I think, who was penalised with his hands in the ruck, something you're not allowed to do.
Yeah, I think he was warned, wasn't he? The ref gave him a warning. As we see here, it was Bonifant who took the ball up. Ooh. Was he off his feet? Maybe the infringement there, just off his feet. Mbai. We haven't seen much of Mbai yet, have we?
No.
The Fijian. It just shows how little possession Castres have had, but a good opportunity here to get within 5.
First attempt at the posts. And the kicker is not going to be Roman Toulet, the normal kicker, but Rory Cockett, the scrum half. So he was a regular point scorer in Super Rugby. Scored over 200 points for the Sharks and the Lions. Now with the first opportunity to get points on the board for the home team to reduce the Scarlet lead. Pretty good strike by the scrum half. The flags are up. 8 points to 3 then the Scarlets lead as we move up towards half-time.
Beautiful strike from Cockett there. Through the ball. I think he'd probably say, Castres, if this was a score at half-time, they'd go in, do a review on their performance, and they'd probably be pleased with that scoreline, because without seeing the kind of percentages, they've had very little opportunity.
Yes, it's been a terrific first half performance by the young Scarlets. Now, Bonifant. This time, again, it's another hand in there by the Scarlets.
With your right hand on the ground.
On the ground, it was Ken Owens was the last man up, the hooker. So Castres can move their way up again then towards halfway. Likewise, I'm sure Nigel Davis will be a little concerned the way that Castres have come back into this game. Put the young Scarlets off their stride a little, so he'd be quite happy to get his team in at half-time just to get them back on the right track, I'm sure.
Yeah, there's probably been one try that they could have definitely scored if they had the extra man, and they've stringed a few pieces of play. Priestland miss a couple of kicks.
What's the blocking? What's the blocking?
So Bonello, again the ball stolen at the line-out. Terrific work at the line-out. Dom Day and Lou Reed for the Scarlets in the second row. Chance again to bring North in. Yet to score a Heineken Cup try. It's only a matter of time, surely. This would be the time to get one.
Wait, guys, don't go
Stephen
forward.
Jones from a not very good pass. And a very tall right winger, Marshall, takes it and then gets Toulet going. Chase forward, but it's gone back towards the Scarlets. North, though, knocks on. Scott Murray in there, playing the ball to Ihongi for Castres. Scrum half Cockett almost going to sleep, but then waking up in time to release Tule. Space on that far side. Garcia wearing 12 for McClymore man.
No hands, 6, drive
Huge
only,
hard
drive
work
only.
there by Shingler and Pugh at the breakdown, trying to prevent Castres getting a try which would bring them right back into this game again. A little step by Boneman. Masoe goes left. That ball's gone forward surely. Yes, it has. And the frustrations of Castres shown as Andrew kicks that ball away.
You see Castres and Masoe just winging it across field, really. Sometimes the bouncing ball can be used to good effect, but on that occasion,
time out, please.
no one running from deep, no one changing their angles of running, and it was a very speculative pass, and one that caught Tommy Pay out.
You gonna be fit to scrum?
Well, are we coming up to half-time? I'm sure Nigel Davis and co will be pretty pleased with the way that their charges have performed in this opening 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think they'll be pleased with the style of play. They've been looking to send runners up the middle and then put it behind. You know, their centre partnerships played fantastically, offloading the ball, fixing men. But just the scoreline, they probably should, you know, be 15 clear at this point.
Pause! Engage!
Scrum goes down. Castres looking now then to up the ante, looking to put some pressure in that area. And 3 front rowers for the Scarlets, Phil John, Ken Owens and Peter Edwards, making their first Heineken starts this season.
Don't let it wheel.
Easton Thomas on the bench, Ken Owens in for Matthew Rees, the captain. He's taking just a break, he's got a little slight knock, so resting it before the trip to Poland.
Touch! Pause! Engage!
Looked pretty solid that time. Gilbert does well getting it away as well. Again, it's John Davis who's asked to take it up the middle. Rodri Williams, Stephen Jones with the kick into space. Tule is across to take it this time and looks again to counter-attack. Goes in to Bonifant.
Open play.
Just
Open
time
play.
for Castres to make this bit of possession count at the end of the first period. Cockett goes one way, then the other. Brings in Marshall.
No hands, it's a ruck!
Penalty will go against Richie Pugh. Hands in at the ruck, says the referee.
Hold on, not in their penalty. Not in their penalty, Stephen. Number 7, ruck form, hands on the ball.
So, Castres have a chance coming up to half-time to get more points back. Masoe, the skipper wearing 8, takes the decision. That's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Bonifant was over the ball, so there was a case there. But the Scarlets really didn't have a place to come in, and it was hands in the ruck in many ways. But it's interesting, complexities of rugby. You can have all the possession, you can dominate the gain line, but then if you make any errors in the technical area of the game on the floor, you know, if they kick this, it could just be 2 points.
Yeah. All square at half-time at Milton Keynes between Northampton and Munster. Scarlets for the moment in the lead by 5. Rory Cockett looking to reduce that lead to just 2. It's close, it's there. Second successful kick by the South African scrum half.
First player at the breakdown can play it and turn it over. It's the arriving players with their hands that are getting penalised. All right?
Referee pointing out to Stephen Jones the complexities of the play there, because it was at the immediate breakdown. You have to question whether in fact the ruck had been formed there, really.
Yeah, I think that was JP Dawes' point. The ruck had been formed by his, and so getting your hands in there was why the penalty was given.
But I must say, as a fan of the old-fashioned number 7, if you can't be allowed to compete for the ball on the ground, then what's the game coming to? There we are.
No, I agree. I think it's It's an interesting point of view, and one of the areas of the game
Ball available.
which is maybe putting the old school sevens or trying to make them have a different mindset on how to play the game.
Last move then of this half, surely. And a safe take.
First
But
man,
it's a
straight through.
turnover ball, and Castres have the last opportunity, but the ball has gone forward. We're in the red zone.
Forward pass.
That's half-time. Scarlets in the lead by 8 points to 6, courtesy of the try by Matt Gilbert, his second this season on his first Heineken start. Rejoin us for what's going to be an intriguing second half. At the moment, it's 8-6 to the Scarlets at Castres.
Away from that kind of middle part of the pitch, and then use their wider players, their midfield, and their strength in their back three.
So it's Seremaya Mbai, once of Cross Keys. Now Fiji, Clement, since those days in Castres the last couple of seasons, gets the second half underway, and I'm sure Nigel Davis and his coaches will tell their players, let's start the second half in the same way as we started the first. And one thing's the same, Castres getting pinged at the breakdown.
Yeah, they just don't seem to have the judgment of the ref at the moment, do they? Whether it's on the floor, competing, or not rolling away.
So it's resulted in the first penalty of the half, going against Yanni Bornman. Done a lot of tackling, some good tackling as well in the first period to get his side on the front foot. But it's the Scarlets then who have the first possession of the second half. Rodri Williams. Difficult ball to take, but they did well. Dom Day, I think it was. Edwards looking to control the ball for his scrum half.
Knock on.
A bit untidy, but the ball had been knocked on, I think, by a Castres
No hands
hand.
on that ball. Just a knock on. Play advantage has come back. Still knock on advantage.
Still an advantage to the Scarlets as
Advantage
Schindler
over, knock on.
takes it up. It's now over. Jones kicks out into
Hooker.
space.
Thank you.
Nasty one, but too late to take. He's got some time though. Gets the clearance away, but again, it'll be a throw-in at the line for the Scarlets.
Yeah, again, we've seen Stephen Jones taking the ball quite flat, but then pulling it back really deep. They're trying to open up the space for their backs to run onto the ball and change that angles of running very late. And that's a good sign for a Welsh backline that is full of young talent. It gives them the opportunity to get the ball in their hands, and that's so important. That when you've got the talent in the team, it's engineering positions to get the ball there. And I think up front, you know, they've had a solid pack. I think John Owens and Edwards in that first half really had the measure of their front row counterparts. And I think just for this half, they need to get the points on the board to show the kind of really the way they've been playing.
Yeah, 2-point lead really surely will not be enough. But they've scored just the one try of the game, and here's another of their young talents. Ken Owens, now 25 years of age, product of the same school as Stephen Jones and Rhys Priestland in Carmarthen. Stephen Jones having to go do some work then.
No hands, three.
Clear the man out at the breakdown. By gets Masoi going forward, gets the ball out wide to Boniface nicely. Now then, Touré, little kick over the top for Marshall. Gets the bounce at the end, the referee's whistle has gone. It's a penalty.
You wrapped around to move him out of the way. Tu plaquage avec le bois.
Bit of obstruction, I think.
Avec le bois.
Danger though, certainly, as Castres struck. Priestland with the clearance penalty.
Good play here from Castres. Masoi here, lovely offload. Basically takes two centres out, and then good angles. Touré with a lovely chip. We see Martial. Oh, no, just nudged him. Ooh.
Regardez Louis.
Well, the good news for the Scarlets is at present they sit in second position in this group because Munster have now taken the lead against Northampton, and that situation must continue, as must the situation here. Running by Bonnefort from the pass by Garcia. Touré, who's played scrum half, moves in. Now and by. These are dangerous moments for the Scarlets. Little step again by Bornman.
3 away, Scarlets.
Cockett has a look up to see what's on. Possession is lost. Now then. Priestland in the end
Advantage over.
has to kick the ball away. Referee says advantage over. It's not a common interpretation of play either. Some referees will say you've kicked the possession away, you've kicked the advantage away. Ball is still alive, and here's the chance again for Mbai. The Fijian international links with Masoe. Lou Reed in with the tackle. Again, the Scarlets making sure they don't overcommit. Bournemouth
Drive only.
under pressure in the tackle area. Then Ortega cleaning out Pill. Now the run by Garcia. He needs tackling. These are ominous moments then for the Scarlets. Kick going down for Andrea. Of course, there was Priestland to clear. And they've stepped up again, haven't they, Castres?
Yeah, they have. Much more sprightly, aren't they? Just mixing their game up, going wide, coming back at the ball. As we see here, Garcia taking it up, dominating that gain line. Just helps so much with the possession and momentum. And then a nudge in behind. Andrea just couldn't field it, but Priestland got across.
Time's
And
up.
always good to see a hooker. Bonello.
What's going on?
Blocking.
Terrific.
Boot to ball.
Yeah, just to resume what I was saying earlier, the Scarlets have to finish second in the group, therefore they have to win this game.
Good formation.
And they want Munster to continue to hold the upper
Still
hand
a ball. Still a
over
ball.
Northampton at Milton Keynes.
Out.
For the moment, it's
Still a ball.
Castres. Good body positions here. Dangerous for the Scarlets. Wihonga wearing 3 in the middle of it all there. Shingler looking to win the ball on the ground for the Scarlets. It's here again though. Munster further in the lead now then. It's looking good for the Scarlets, but they need to defend this lead. Big pressure here by the Castres forwards.
Keep an eye on that, Dixie.
Referee Doyle asking his assistant Paul Dix on the far side to keep an eye on things as well. As it's Scott Murray, Scotland's most capped forward, wearing 4. Then Masoe, waiting to pounce, the number 8. On to Bournemouth. The support this time for him comes from Malonga.
Maul. Maul.
Good play from Gilbert. Got right in the middle there. Fantastic. Saw the opportunity. Castres were taking it forward, and Gilbert got right in there and held the man up. Great pace. Scarlet scrum. As we see here.
1 and 2.
That is great play. Just saw the opportunity to get into the middle of that play. And then they get Castres down.
They don't have to
With Scarlets going forward.
They don't have to have Maul time.
It's their ball.
And Maul time.
Chapo Ortega needs some treatment. Masoe just getting some explanation from the referee as we have some changes already. Forestier wearing 17 for 1. And also Brice Mack back in the action after injury. Both of these men, Forestier and Mack, back in action. 2 key front row men for Castres for the rest of this season.
Who's injured? Anybody?
Well, Mach was actually hurt scoring a try against Munster back in December earlier on in this competition, and hasn't played any rugby since.
Okay, you just got to wait for a
And
gauge,
Forestier,
right?
well, he was only brought back into the squad this week because he's been out injured since the start of the season. 2 top 14 starts in the first 2 games, and then had an operation for a groin injury. And the former Colombian man in his 8th season with Castres, a big performer for them, the man wearing 17.
Touch! Pause! Engage!
Early test for the Scarlets front row. Gilbert looking to control it at number 8 for his scrum half. They've done their job well, haven't they?
Yeah, they just about got away with it. There was certainly loads of pressure on the left-hand side of that scrum there. But they held their own and managed a great clearance there from Priestland.
Chris Massoe, the Castres skipper, looking to lift his side here. As we say, he might not be in Castres next season.
Yeah, he's a player that goes one way, and that is forward.
Sloppy play this time, allowing Liam Williams. But again, the ball is lost in the tackle, but the referee was playing an advantage anyway to the Scarlets. And Liam Williams was playing just his 12th competitive start. Another one of the young talent that's coming through at Parker Scarlets. And his international future might well be at fullback, as we look again at the attack that almost brought a try for Castres at the beginning of this second period.
Okay, no problem.
But it's still 8-6 to the Scarlets as Rodri Williams prepares to feed the scrum.
Pause! Engage!
Here comes the pressure. Again, the pickup, though, by Gilbert. Williams from the left wing drills the kick down towards the 22. And if Tule puts the ball out, then it's a throw-in to the Scarlets. Net gain of just a few metres, but it keeps them moving forward.
Yeah, it does. I mean, territory will be important for Scarlets in this second half.
Tight head.
You can see if they're not going to move it wide, they're going to bang it long and really put Tule under loads of pressure to clear. But that man, Massoe, has been the real shining light for Castres, isn't he? And I mean, this second half, the pack, the whole Castres team has really come out with intent, saying, look, it's almost 0-0. You know, let's really show our fans that we can win this game.
There's a change at tight head and also at scrum half for the Scarlets. Rodri Jones wearing 18. 20 just before Christmas. Very, very young for a front row forward. And then Gareth Davis, who's figured in all the Heineken Cup games this season, comes on at scrum half. Stephen Jones, what a hit that was by Massoe. But the Scarlets moving forward to the 10-metre line. Davis, ball in hand for the first time. And there's an offside decision against Garcia, the centre. Referee for the moment playing an advantage. Shingler, oh, what good hands. Brilliantly done. Scott Williams dodging away. Oh, this is lovely play by the Scarlet centre. Support wasn't quite there, but now here it is. Gareth Davis gets it away. Priestland does well to regain possession. The advantage is now over, says the referee. As Gareth Davis gets the Scarlets going forward again. Not a good pass. Shingler, good work by Stephen Jones to rescue the position in the first place. And again, this is a position, Matt, they need to score from, isn't it?
Yeah, they do. They're really... charged down again.
Danger, luckily for the Scarlets. It was Scott Murray in there. Not a pacey back. But now Mbaye offloads to Tule. Here they go down the left wing then. Bonnefond down to Andrew. Very much a seesaw game. As Crockett puts the little kick into space. John Davis is across to cover. Crockett gives up the ghost immediately. Calls on a teammate to come and make the tackle.
He wasn't keen on that, was he?
He was not keen at all on that. So John Davis was able to come away. Yeah, there he goes again, as you say. just one way forward.
12, keep your feet there.
That's all Masoi knows. Mbai.
Wait.
Looking to judge that kick then, but it's a poor one. Liam Williams. Now then, the chase. All important from this position. It's a good one. Brilliant take. George North in there for the Scarlets.
Not the side. Advantage.
This is a good platform again. It's an advantage again to the Scarlets. And they'll get the penalty. Quickly taken by Gareth Davis. Good thinking. Liam Williams pops it up. Good support. Coming up there was young Rodri Jones. Should the Scarlets have taken the 3 points? That'll be the question. It'll be made totally academic if they're going to try from here. Shingler called up by Gareth
side.
Davis. Rodri Jones first of all.
Towards me. Thank you.
Possession vital for the Scarlets, and they've maintained it. The bounce is a difficult one, but Andre gets away with it. And gets the kick clear. And the Scarlets, having pressed up in attack, now need to defend. There's only one place surely that has to go. Rosette.
Ooh, an interesting piece of play from both sides there, starting in a fire up. As these players get more tired, you can imagine the game really opening up. Andrea, great step. As a front row forward, I'm sure, Chris, seeing a winger trying to step,
yeah, I didn't say anything in traffic,
was a flailing arm.
That's all I can say to you.
From the Scarlets, but...
15. I understand that.
We see Andrea here, takes it, booms it long.
I do understand what you're saying.
And he runs into him.
Yep. Claiming the penalty. But no way the referee is going to award that one. That's where the flare-up happened. But he was looking for it, wasn't he?
Put your flag up, Luke. Luke, show him it's a line.
I think he ran straight into the back of him, and then his teammates
flag up.
decided it had been hardly done by, but...
Luke.
JP Doyle comes over and has a word with Luke Pearce over here. That was a nasty fall for Reece Priestland. Oh, painful. Painful. Forestier in the action, wearing 17, the prop for Castres. They really up the ante here. These are tense moments for the Scarlets as Bonifant, 13, takes it on. Ian Garcia in the centre looked much more impressive in this second period. Now then, Mbai, as they look to get it wide. Again, Masoi, the tallest of number 8s. Such a powerful man. Mbai, looking to make things happen now.
Play on.
And maintaining possession as well, Castres.
Advantage.
This time the referee playing an advantage. Masoi knocking the ball forward, scrum to the Scarlets.
So a really dominant player in this game, especially in the second half, 15 minutes in. Taking the ball up. We see here Mbai just steps. Haven't seen much of him today, but steps into the contact, and then Masoi comes in and smashes that ruck.
All right, okay.
Now all the talk about him moving maybe too long, but there's no questioning his commitment, is there?
Wow. You know, wherever he goes, if he plays like this, he's certainly a linchpin for his side. And at number 8, having that leadership ability to show the passion and commitment that he's showing is worth his weight in gold.
Crouch!
Nabil and Travers, the two coaches we saw on the touchline a few moments ago. Travers, a hooker.
Back up.
On the Brive side. Such a good side in the early years of this competition. Won it, of course, beating Leicester in the second final at the Millennium Stadium. And beat the Scarlets at the quarter-final on the way there. Real test now then of the Scarlets pack. The changes in the front row.
Yeah, you talked about it, Bob, didn't you?
Yeah, Forestier, such an experienced man.
Ooh, he's really come on.
Alaline.
dominated that left-hand side. And
and the latest news from Milton Keynes is that it's 31-26 to Munster. Both they and the Saints down to 14 men. Now then, key moment in this game. Rory Cockett, 2 penalties so far, accounting for the 6 points Castres have scored. Looking now for his 3rd to put the Frenchman in the lead for the first time in this game. Long distance, but he struck his 2 earlier penalties pretty well. This time it's wide of the mark, to the relief of the visiting fans in Castres.
Yeah.
Looking more like West Wales all day, every day with the rain coming down.
Must stay there, Lily.
And I can say that being West Walian myself. Garen Evans, the manager of the Scarlets, on the touchline. Here's the change then. In the front row, Iestyn Thomas, the experienced man brought on, and needed to do something about the situation in the scrum, which has changed since half-time and the arrival of Yannick Forestier on the Castres side. So they're on the front foot as Massoe goes charging on. Mbai. Movement by Bonnefond.
Let go, tackler!
This time the Scarlets penalised, not releasing the man, quickly taken by Cockett, the scrum half. Links the play in there. Massoe, also Bournemouth. Here come Castres. The biggest threat yet to the Scarlets. Today, the little fullback, is in there as well. Looking to clear it away. Bournemouth waits the number 6. Pick up and go, driven back in the tackle. Cockett again. They're looking to keep it all tight in there. Mack, the replacement hooker. Toulé goes into play, scrum half. And by Massoe, the dummy, the interception. Here's a chance then for the Scarlets, really to get a grip on this game again. It's Schindler once more. Working so hard, and despite the tap, goes all the way for the try. His 3rd try in this season's competition. His 1st season in the Heineken Cup for Aaron Schindler. Oh, what a moment.
what pace from Schindler, literally. I mean, the movement of the play, we thought Massoe was going to come onto the ball, and Schindler just hit it. It was almost like an attacking line. Changed complete the angle of the play, as we see here. Mbai takes it. And then Schindler just pockets it beautifully, almost from a standing start. And that is great pace. I mean, that's endurance pace to get, 80 metres of the field and score an outstanding individual try.
Now, he came to our attention playing for the Llanelli Premiership side when he scored a try like that, running 70 metres in a cup final game against Neath in 2009, and we thought, this boy's got something special.
Well, he certainly has. I mean, that was pure gas, and from a standing start, like I say.
Yeah. And the skipper has taken over the goal kicking. Flags, though, remain down. But that's a key moment for the Scarlets. Munster doing the hard work for them, winning the game against Northampton at Milton Keynes. As again, it's Caballero, another of the outstanding back row forwards, who comes on for Castres. That they'll do something to match the efforts of this young man. Many people in West Wales thought that he should have made it into the Welsh squad. Quite a late entrant into the game, still only 24 years of age.
Yeah, if he keeps doing that, then he certainly won't be a late entrant. The Scarlets make a mistake right from the kick-off there. Castres back in.
7 points is the Scarlet lead. They've scored the 2 tries of this game so far.
Oh, turnover there. Turnover,
But
come back for the
there'd been a turnover
knock-on.
of ball. The referee will have to bring them back again. Well, I tell you what, if they make it through to the Amlin or not, this has been another outstanding night in the annals of Llanelli Scarlets rugby.
Timing, all right? Timing.
Nigel Davis heading the touchline, and Garen Evans, who've done so much as players and administrators and coaches for the team over the years.
Seconds!
But here's another big scrum.
Crouch!
Yestin Thomas, the replacement,
Touch!
wearing 17 on this side of the scrum.
Pause! Engage!
Against Wiongi, Masoe, the pickup. Stephen Jones up so quickly on Cockett. Good work, but the possession is here again for Masoe and his men. This time, Iongi, the replacement, wearing 23 on the wing for the Scarlets, scored his first try in his first start last week against Northampton. And,
Billy Edward.
the clock, well, not running down quickly enough as far as the Scarlets are concerned, I'm sure.
I think so. Masoe there. Again, his name's been mentioned a lot this evening, but it'd be ominous signs for Scarlets that Masoe is taking the ball off at the base at number 8 and really looking to create options. Under pressure in the front row for the Scarlets. Bringing another replacement on here. So they'll probably look to stay away from that set piece. Maybe go to the line out. Just so they don't get bogged down in this scrum.
Yeah, Michael Kutsia is the latest replacement, former Border Bulldog from South Africa. On the tight head side for Wiongi.
Unplayable, unplayable, unplayable. After the scrum, unplayable. Not the scrum. No, he didn't. It's foot.
Well, I tell you what, you can't accuse this referee of being a homer, can you? Making the honest decisions. There, the pressure again. You see the talent of this man, Forestier, don't you?
You take that from the ref, wouldn't you? Unplayable as your scrum is going on an axis.
Yes. Quite, yeah. Exactly.
Crouch! Touch! Pause!
Referee going to that far side again, just to check on how Rodri Jones is doing against Forestier. Gilbert, who's shown up so well for the Scarlets tonight, not just with that try.
Behind the ball! Wait! Wait! No, stop!
Gareth Davis with the kick forward, doesn't get a great deal of distance with it. John Davis
the 10.
putting some pressure, but in fact,
Must leave the 10.
offside decision.
Pack must retreat.
I think it might have been against Stephen Jones, possibly.
There you go. Again, Bob, shows how important the scrum is. I mean, that was really... The resulting penalty was from the pressure at the scrum. If you don't get it really clean and away and execute at that set piece, it can cause you so much problems. And Castres have really monopolised in the past 15 minutes in that area.
5.
And all coming from that miss kick, really, there by the replacement scrum half, Gareth Davis, putting his side into some trouble, and then the kick into the corner has created further problems for the Scarlets, who are about to replace Dominic Day, I think,
Blocking.
by Sione Timani, the other Tongan, wearing 19. Played his rugby in West Wales with Carmarthen recently. Now then, here's a big test for the Scarlets. Mbai gets it out into centre field. Over from the right wing, Marshall.
7 through the gate.
Cockett out again to Mack. Big tackle coming in immediately by the Tongan.
Kicks it, no problem.
Loose ball,
Knock
but
on.
nudged forward.
Came through the middle and kicked the ball. Not a problem.
Well, he's made a bit of an impact already, Sione Timani, since coming on a few seconds ago. Apologies for some of the bad language you may have heard by the referee's microphone there.
Stop getting upset about stuff that's legal. It's legal, okay? No. Yes, you can kick the ball.
So
Yes.
the sweep of the rain there suggests that any wind is behind Castres in this position.
Pause.
Vital scrum then.
Engage.
Easton Thomas under pressure. Masoe going backwards for the moment, then picks up the ball, gives it to Mbai. Stephen Jones there, good presentation of the ball. It's Masoe again. In towards the corner goes Marshall. That was a chance lost.
Marshall. I mean, would you say that's an open goal? He was under pressure.
Good discipline, Red.
I know it's got slippery out there. Masoe takes it up, and he's been on the gain line in this second half, really to effect. Cocotte, lovely little tap on there.
Get the timing right. 2 years together.
Williams just got in the way. Good tackle from Williams. Just had to throw his body at the ball, and then these slippery conditions did enough.
Now he's been described already this season, the young number 11, as a JPR Williams in the making. There you can see why.
Engage.
Big scrum again.
Ball's gone.
Controlled by Gilbert at number 8. Hard work again by Timani. Giving the opportunity for Gareth Davis to get this ball away. Not much distance. The chase has to be good. That Castres have one possession back.
Away.
And Marshall 14, the 6'5" winger, looking to atone for his earlier error. Ball knocked down. Okay though. Again it's Masoe. Cocotte gets it out to Mbai. The change of angle. The little turn by Max Evans, who's on the Scotsman now, wearing 23. Then to Bournemouth, the South African. Ball's lost again, though. Well, they're having their chances, Castres.
Yeah, they are. Just losing the ball, though, in crucial areas. Lovely line from Max Evans coming back at the ball. Just mixing the game up. Mbai here.
Ripped out, so it's cast
Bubbling ball, Max Evans takes it through beautifully. And you can see Cocotte in this second half has really had to be on his game because the pace at which they're playing, it's almost like a different team, but they've had the ball in this second half and they've really constructed some good plays, but at the crucial moment, they've either knocked on or they've been loose at the base.
Now they're emptying their bench, Castres. Andra leaves the field, the number 11. As I say, just back in action this week after injury. So the legs beginning to go maybe. We saw Pierre Barnard wearing 22. Young man that, young Welsh players, Welsh international under 20 players in the Scarlets squad would have had a guts full of, I can tell you. He scored 30 points against Wales in an under 20 international in the Junior World Cup in Japan a couple of years ago, which won France the 3rd place in that tournament. And here's a big ask then for the Scarlets again at the line-out. Caballero, it went backwards. Here's Barnard. Mbai has now moved into the centre.
Watch his legs.
Bonnefont, 13, goes in to aid. The pressure is huge. It's again the South African Bone Man. Into midfield, coming up at pace. Really asking big questions of the Scarlet defence now. Just 7 points ahead, the Scarlets, as Mbai gets it again to who else but Masoe. The pick-up this time by Roland, the second row replacement.
Don't lift him up, 13.
Scott Williams warned by the referee not to lift the man up. For the moment, the Scarlets are keeping them out. Okay. Again, it's Bournemouth, who's carried as well as anybody for this Castres team. Now it's Masoe looking to take defenders out of the action. Ball knocked down
by 17.
By Scarlett. Knocked
so therefore
down,
he had the ball.
I think, by Easton Thomas.
No problem, well done, Steve.
Come on, Scarlett.
Okay, blood, yeah, blood.
37-29 is the lead that Munster have over Northampton at Milton Keynes in that other key match as far as the Scarlets are concerned in this group. And for the moment as well, the Scarlets are doing their job by maintaining the lead which they have over Castres.
Change him.
Second try in this half by Aaron Schingler.
Change.
Just when they were under huge
Go
pressure.
for one play, it's an eye cut.
Yeah, it was really against the
Change
play
it.
as well, wasn't it? It was an
There's blood on his
excellent
face.
individual
He's gotta
try. But Castres have been all over the Scarlets here. Their build-up play has been excellent. Can they convert it?
So we can expect another big
The mark's there for a
effort
reason. It's not for fun, okay?
from Castres here. Simon Zebo, the left winger, has added his second score. He's the scorer of the second try for Munster as they extend the lead over the Saints.
Engage.
Again, it's Barnard switching the play. Castres looking to take out the Scarlet attackers. This time, it's Katsia, the replacement prop. Roland, 19, waiting to pick up as well in turn. 20 is Caballero from the back row. 6, Bournemouth.
That's a maul!
Who's
Don't
still
pull
there.
it down! Maul!
Scarlet's being warned by the referee
First time
not to
from
collapse it, that it's a maul.
Maul! Maul!
Allowed to go forward, Castres in this position. Desperate defensive work for the Scarlets as they look to keep out the Frenchman. It's Masoi and
Into a
Mac.
pile of bodies, scrum. After the maul, into a pile of bodies.
Pile
Scrum.
up, says the referee. Set scrum. Another test.
9 wide,
Yeah, this
9
will be a
casts,
test
substitute.
for the Scarlets front row and the pack as a whole. They'd hope that they'd stay strong in this position,
Yeah, that's fine.
not bring it down. Because if they do, I'm sure Castres will go for another one, and you wouldn't want to see a penalty try in this position now.
21 now, the latest replacement at scrum half for Castres. Thierry Lacrampe, whose injury early in the season induced Castres to sign Rory Cockett as a temporary
Are you
replacement.
Time off, props injured.
Time off call by the referee because of an injury on the Llanelli side, on the Scarlet side. Stephen Jones, the Scarlet skipper, in there looking to lift his men. The clock has stopped. We've got 10 minutes and 17 seconds of rugby. And I tell you what, those front row forwards will know it as well by the end of the game, won't
yes. They will, and with 10 minutes to go, you get the sense that Scarlets are just trying to hang on a little bit here.
It's an old cliche, I know, but the best place to defend the lead is in the other half of the field,
Fit the
isn't it?
scrum.
But getting away from there in the first place, that's the problem. So here we have the replacements in the front row from left to right.
Touch!
Rodri Jones, Emir Phillips, Yestin Thomas.
Touch! Pause!
Taking on
Engage!
Kutsia, Mac and Forestier. It's Masoi driving for the line, just short. Again, the Scarlets' defence has to stand tall. It's Mac, the 16, the replacement hooker, in the middle of it all, and yes, Castres have the try. They're back in this game, and it's that man Forestier, who's changed so much in the front row, who gets the try.
Yeah, thoroughly deserved there from Castres. Forestier, he's been dominant since he's come on, and you could just feel that build-up in momentum. The set piece, they've just have overtaken Scarlets in the set piece, in the scrum in this second half. We see Masoa here. He's been influential all over the park, sets it up, and then the pack as a unit make it easy. But again, good build-up play from Castres. You could feel that coming. Really makes this last 10 minutes an interesting one.
Yeah, he's such a key man for his team. Last season, he played in 24 of their 27 top 14 games. Then had to go under the surgeon's knife. This season, had an operation for the groin injury. Now, for the first time in this game, We see the master goal kicker, Romain Tullet, looking to add the extra points for Castres. Success for Romain Tullet. The game then is on a knife edge, as we see once more the moment that Yannick Forestier linked up with Brice Mack. The two replacements rolling on the ball there.
There's a little payback there as well, wasn't it? Forestier, little tap on Williams' head. We saw in this half Williams a little tap on Martial's head as well. So this is what the game's all about. Tic-tac. Come on, Bob, last 10 minutes.
Yep, last 7 3/4 minutes. As the ball goes back to Bernard, the replacement at outside half. Long kick downfield, but Stephen Jones is there. Now then, where's the chase from these tired Scarlet legs? Tullet gets the ball from Bernard. Then wide out left. Gareth Davis, the replacement scrum half, has to make the tackle for the Scarlets. Well, now thanks to a hat-trick try by Simon Zebo, Munster well clear of Northampton, but the Scarlets being held to a draw at the moment. They need a victory. Battle on the ground this time is won by Castres. Lacrampe gets it away. Who is it but Massoui, the skipper? Where does he get his power, his stamina from? Knocks the ball on then in the challenge.
Explosive, wouldn't he? Straight through the gap, head down. Almost didn't believe it for a minute there. He was in so much open space.
Oh yeah, I just didn't see it.
But again, just the final breakdown. It really is skiddy out there now. The ball's slipping out of the players' hands. They're getting tired. As we see Stephen Jones get absolutely munched.
And Massoui capped 20 times by the All Blacks. And were it not for the fact that they've got so many great back row forwards, then this man from Wellington, from the Hurricanes, I'm sure, would have had even more caps. A great talent, Chris Massoui. 32 years of age now, maybe looking for the one big money move at the end of his career. Lacrampe goes through. Good play that time again by Matt Gilbert. And the little kick downfield for George North to chase. This is where the Scarlets need to make their tackles count. Richard Pugh again going in there, working hard. Oh, and a penalty to the Scarlets.
First player on there.
Now then, cool heads needed here. And in Stephen Jones, you don't have an older, cooler head in this situation than the skipper. Just as a little joke with Romain Tullet.
Yeah, he's got it all, hasn't he? Stephen Jones, he's done it all. 104 caps for his country. There's no greater man to line up his tee for this kick. Just hope he's got the legs.
Yeah. Second highest point scorer in the history of the Heineken Cup. Second only, of course, to Ronan O'Gara. 866 points in total. 827 of those for the Scarlets over the years. His 81st game for the Scarlets today, and the kick that might nudge them forward again. It's wide. The Scarlets continue to run down. Munster doing everything they can to aid the Scarlets' effort by beating, at the moment anyway, with a healthy lead over the Northampton Saints. The Scarlets must get a victory here.
Yeah, that was the one risk. Stephen Jones, at his age, probably means his hamstrings have tightened up somewhat. So just didn't quite have the legs on that kick.
Up goes the kick again. Again, the Scarlets will look for the chase. Who takes it? Who else? Massoe. Whether Castres win or lose, he's been a standout performer in this game, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's been outstanding.
As an individual, but mind you,
Ball's out.
hats off as well to the performance of the Scarlets team. Who would have believed that there were 20 players missing because of injury, out of consideration?
Ripped clear by you. Play on. Ripped back by Red.
Yongi. Now he's got some pace if he can get some space. Won't get on that kick though. But that's a poor kick, gives him a second opportunity. Offloads the ball to George North. The 19-year-old able to link as well. Munster at full time have won 51-36 against the Scarlets as the shrill blast again from JP Doyle signals a penalty for offside to the Scarlets. They have one more chance again.
The man of the match, Massoe, I think just comes over there just a little bit too early, and this gives, I mean, this is it really, isn't it? This is, well, actually, you wouldn't say this is it, but this could be the defining moment. So many games these days go right down to the wire. When you think it's 80 minutes, a team will go 15, 16 phases and create something, but a really important kick for Stephen.
So we're getting a little reminder from JP Doyle there that he has a minute to complete this task. But he wants his composure as well. Strikes the ball well, it's there! The Scarlets back in the lead by 3 points. Now that there's some drama, I'm sure, left in this game. Stephen Jones restored to the Scarlets side tonight then. At 34 years of age, getting towards the end of his career. Ball is knocked on by a Castres hand, so that gives the Scarlets the opportunity to hang on to the ball. Gilbert in the first place.
Advantage over, knock on. Wait, don't go forward. Pop.
The advantage is over, and that ball is kicked away by the Scarlets to Tullet. Here come Castres. Scott Williams, 13, battling his way in there. Not much space down here.
Tackler away!
Lecramp, the scrum half. Ball's out. We're almost up to a minute of rugby left.
Are you injured?
And this has been quite a game at the end of this competition, this year's competition, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a fantastic game of Heineken Cup rugby. Many ways, a game of two halves. Scarlets really dominated the first half without really getting the points on the board. And then Castres second half, their front row dominated. Some nice build-up plays. A try from the Scarlets, a bit of a breakaway. Shingler with the real gas to score.
Yeah, it's on you. Please.
The clock restarts. We're ticking down towards the 80-minute mark.
Move. Come back here. Stay there.
Scarlets second in the pool
Advantage
at the moment with 15 points. That ball's out. The seconds are as valuable as anything, keeping their hopes alive then of making it through to the Amlin, which will be quite something for them at the end of this competition. Narrow defeats to Munster, both home and away, after the first victory, a good victory too, over Castres at Parc Scarlets, 31-23.
Crouch!
Munster, of course, already qualified and finishing top of the pool, obviously, with 25 points, 6 victories out of 6. And we remember it went down to a last-minute drop goal by Ronan O'Gara in that first game against Northampton. That's the margin between success and failure so often in this game. We're in the red zone. It's the last attempt then by Castres to get a victory or at least a draw in this game. It's only a matter of pride as far as they're concerned. As far as the Scarlets are concerned, it's a chance of getting further in Europe, maintaining their hopes alive. The ball's knocked on by a Castres hand. A little tap off the field of play. That's it, the final whistle then from Iestyn Thomas's kick. Chris Massoe ends up on the losing side. Great player, but what a great victory for the Scarlets, keeping their hopes alive in Europe this season. Thanks as well to the